So, hello again. Um, a lot's been happening, so it's time to journal. Um, Physical health is fine because I'm beefy now. There's more like cushion, so nothing's wrong. Um, can't even tell anything happened, so I guess that's the thing in the past. But, not but, and no buts. So everything happens for a reason, right? I'm gonna just tell the story. Um, 5 years ago, it must have been 5 years ago when I was at the gym. I saw a girl there, and I was like, "That is the hottest girl at the gym." And then she's very social, so I didn't wasn't involved. Um, but I would hear about her from people at the gym, and it just seemed like my type of person, physically my type, attractive, intelligent, stuff like this. So um, we've been dating, and what's what's interesting, I asked her, I was like, "Why now?" Like, you crossed my path many times. Why now? And she's like, "I think we both had lessons to learn." Well, you could have saved me some fucking trouble, lady. So it's probably true, honestly. But those lessons made it so those lessons made it so she's attracted to me regardless of what I think, do, or say. And I'm not attracted to her no matter what she does or says. How did that happen? And I'll tell you something is that when I went to pick her up for our first date on site, I was like, never mind. No, I don't feel this. It's like, oh, I made a huge mistake. But because she matches the idea that I had in my head, I was like, I have to. I mean, let's see what the. Am I retarded? Like, this is what we talked about. Remember? I couldn't even. Like, she's probably like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why aren't you making a move?" I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do anything. I didn't feel comfortable. I saw a flash of light. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't kiss her. And if I hugged her, I had to like make sure. Why? She would call me king. She would, what can I do for you, my king? I was like, we went to a haunted maze thing with my friends uh, this last weekend, and I did not have fun. I couldn't. I didn't have fun. It's like, I wish you didn't go. I'm. I guess I had to do it just to know. Nothing's wrong with her. Um, and I told her that there's nothing wrong with you, so there's no work to be done. I said, usually we're attracted to a lesson, and there's no lesson here. She's like, Pedro, John, I feel the same way. And I was like, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand what I meant. Like, we're on completely different and not in the way that it's usually a thing. That not in the way it usually happens, where I talk about how like when an animal hears fireworks and they're not your friend anymore, they turn into the animal that they are, like the base animal. That's how I think every human being is. That's why I hate being here. Uh, like, of course, we all shit and eat and go for walks, but like, there has to be more. You know what I mean? And what's interesting is like, she's spiritual. She's fucking an entrepreneur. She's like all these things, and she's physically attractive. She has the assets that I like. I could not look at her sexually. I couldn't. I could not do it. So I had to get my manifestation journal out. Be like, what's missing here? I need to refine this list. I also have to change the order now that I'm a little bit wiser. Budweiser. Okay, so I have. She's Persian. We share a culture. Surprise. Yes, I am. Get over it. She's intelligent, witty, and sharp, like me. She's younger than me, keeps me on my toes, keeps me young. She's self analytical, growth oriented, spiritual, godly. She's loving, doting, and affectionate. She's going to be a great mother, ethical, moral, temperate. She has women without fathers usually don't do that, by the way. I think ethics and morals come from dad. Uh, she has an abundant disposition, doesn't have a lack mindset. She's physically attractive, has all the assets. I just said that. I didn't do that on purpose. But doesn't flaunt, modest. She wears a hijab, or I'll kill her. She's discerning. What is this word? How do I not read my own shit? Catches. It's because of the pen. She's discerning, catches every man's attention, but only gives to who she loves. This girl did that. She anticipates and meets my needs. She did that. She knows when to fight. There would be no fights other than, hey, like, why don't you like me? And when to follow. Wants peace and harmony over conflict. Invaluable. Knows how to argue, doesn't lose it to prove a point, focuses on solutions. She's a strong, like most people, when you fight with them, they just want you to feel bad. And I'm not gonna, because you deserved whatever you did. She makes her decisions with spiritual backing. She has a strong spiritual connection to me, feels like divine love. She has overcome obstacles, trauma, adversity. She's tempered. She perfectly represents divine feminine energy, complements my masculine. She's down to earth and grounded. She's my soulmate twin flame. She has an open heart. She helps me grow. I cannot tell you there's nothing on this list this girl didn't have. There's nothing on here that she didn't have. So my list is wrong. The list is wrong. All this time I've been spending making this fucking list. The list is wrong. I thought I was wrong. I was like, okay, like, am I just attracted to like someone who is needs my help, Captain Save-A-Ho? Am I just attracted to someone who will recreate the conditions of my childhood for me to mirror my own shadow back to me? It's like that doesn't fuck it. The fact that I could tell you that means it can't be that. I already know that. It's not in my shadow. I'm not attracted to that. I don't want that. I don't want it. So this girl's like, how can I help you with your business? Like, you'd be a perfect partner. You're so handsome. You're bitch. Where was I? How handsome was I the last 5 years? You've been walking by me like I don't exist. Was I invisible? Bitch. You waited yourself out of a relationship. I'll tell you that much because probably would have done it earlier. Can't do it now. I can't do it now. So the other thing is like I'm not good at breaking up with people. It's hard. How do you say like I just don't want this? Please leave me alone. I regret talking to you. Not like that, but like in an autistic. I don't know how to get out of this conversation way. So conversely, there's this other girl who doesn't meet anything on the list except maybe the spiritual stuff. Spiritual stuff for sure. The first part of the list doesn't match. Way more into her. Way more into her. But I've said like it doesn't like our lives don't mix. I can't do this. Like also I need more. It's like it's great that you can meet all my needs when I see you, but if I see you once a week, that's not enough for me. So like we need me and my other personalities need more. So this other girl had all the time in the world to give to me. Like she probably would have just moved in. Like she's ready to go. And then of course like the more she's like I just all I need is a good morning text and a good night text. And I was like, bitch, there's too many rules here. I can't fucking keep up with this. What the fuck are you talking about? What? First of all, I'm not like I'll just set like an automatic timer on the fucking phone to do that automatically. Like what who are we? What are we? I'm a human being. I'm fucking wild and crazy and random. What the fuck? That's it? Like thank you for not using me, but like I want to be with a human being. It's like as long as you do that, I feel loved and I'm like, okay, well, I feel inauthentic doing that. You know? I don't want to do that. I mean, not like it should come naturally. Don't tell me like I guess tell me what your needs are, but maybe when we're in a relationship, not before. It was crazy how easygoing she was. I'm not used to it. And then, but like honestly, like if she was, if she was exactly the same and looked different, I still wouldn't be attracted. So it's not just a looks thing. So I had to do this to understand like what the fuck is it? What the fuck is it? What we see changes what we know, and what we know changes what we see. I know too much. So we had some serious deep conversations. She's like, I love that I can do this with you. I can't do this with many people. She's a 3 life path, so she's like mayor of the gym, knows every person. People just come up and like, oh my god, I love your outfit. Fuck, I can't like. So we don't have a dog. You're inviting strangers to come talk to you. Oh, what kind of fucking thing is it? Fuck you. It's an animal. Get out of my life. So we fucking very much live in different worlds. So like now it is clear to me, especially because the other girl far more spiritually connected to and attracted to. It's not that we align perfectly; it's that she's thinking for herself. You know what's fucking weird? I think I mentioned this the last time. They both invited me to the same church the same day. I was like, okay, The problem I have with church is that I know the history and who started it, and I know more about God than any fucking anyone getting paid to do it. I promise you. You don't find God in books or in church. You find someone to jerk you off while they're fucking you in the ass. Take the money out. See if they still do it. Make it illegal for a church to receive donations. See how many preachers start selling cars or working at McDonald's drive-throughs. You cunts. So probably not qualified for that even. So it bothers. I mean, that part doesn't bother me. It bothers me. Organized religion bothers me, but when people don't think for themselves, or I started to talk about the stuff that I think and believe in, the things that I've been through, and she's like, "That's really dark. I don't really want to like. I know that stuff exists, but it like takes my energy." I'm like, okay, well, if you want to gaslight yourself into positive emotions, that's fine. But how the fuck do you know what the light is if you don't know what the dark is? You're sitting in a church built by the dark, you fuck. Maybe that was harsh. But like, does the pastor know fucking what Constantine did? The first pope who boiled his wife alive? That's the author of your book, bro. Do you know that the Freemasons have code in the book? The book you're preaching from, the Freemasons wrote, which means it's their book, which means if you read it literally, you're missing the fucking point. You fuck. That's not too harsh. You know why it's not too harsh? It was apparent to me as a child. You're a fucking idiot. Tell me how God works, spiritual daddy. The fuck? Figure it out yourself. That's what I did. Do. It's a lifelong thing. This is really chalky. It reminds me of those old power bars from the 90s. I'm eating fucking space food to have muscles. The fuck? Why can't I swallow it? Burn more calories chewing it. So, even with a spiritual one that isn't Persian, stuff I like about both. Health conscious and conscientious, treat other people well. People are attracted to their aura, you know? They shine brightly. But so did Lucifer. So did the devil, right? Lucifer means light bringer. All creeped. So obviously that means women come from hell. Or else do they like the shower water to be so hot? They're preparing to go back. So, and they get so hot at night. It's like, what the fuck? Is there a nuclear reactor in there? Um. So, anyways, what else is going on? So that I had to, obviously, it had to end because I'm wasting her time by not. No, I mean I knew on site, but I had to figure out what the fuck is it that Why is it you can meet everything on the list that I'm not interested in you at all? I wouldn't think about texting her throughout the day. I wouldn't think about like just just no. Women would marry that. If a woman was in my position, they'd 100% marry that. Like, oh, this is what I want, and just follow all the way. Like, ignore the voice in your head, and then resent the fuck out of that man later and destroy him. So you follow your dreams, bitch. Fucking what the fuck? I didn't stop you. Did you hear Steph Curry's wife was like, I could have been a business. Shut the fuck up. You could have done nothing. He stunted my growth. Okay. Can they ever be happy? So, fellas, don't waste your time. Now, on the subject of fellers. So, I don't know what the reason is that I all of a sudden am attractive to everyone. All of my shirts say some version of "fuck off," but it's having the opposite effect. So this is the best year I've been in business. Um, Still really kind of minimum effort, if I'm being honest with you. Someone sent me an Instagram reel of like someone interviewing car people, and they're all saying how much they make. Oh, I make this much, and everyone they interviewed, I was like, oh fuck, I do more than that. Every single one of them. Um, I don't have more money, I make more, but I also spend more. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So can't take it with you. So I guess if I had to sum up what I don't like about Homegirl was that she'd be a perfect partner for the fake world. I don't live in that fucking world. I'm participating. I don't live there. I live in here, the real world. I see through the bullshit. You want to know what I see through? They're saying a fucking spaceship's coming to Earth. I have to hear this bullshit every day. Did you know it's fucking. You've been watching 50 years of Star Trek and it works the same way? They're fucking scooting over here. Are they rowing a boat here? Why would you think space travel works like that? They're burning fossil fuels or what? Did they use warp drive? Did their warp drive break? And then to let you know that it's a very serious problem that we're definitely preparing for, the government is on, like, the government is protesting itself. Do you think that the people that know more about it are worried about it? Or they just let the fucking retards freak out? A tweet changes the market. Someone loses their life savings because of a tweet. I'm not playing anymore. It's not fun. You guys keep fucking. I I saw everyone was talking about gold. And I was like, I bet you that shit's about to crash. I was like, it's gonna be rug pulled. I don't know what the fuck the word is because I don't follow the shit. I talked to someone and I was like, I bet you this is gonna happen. And he's like, I think no, you're 100% right because as soon as they start telling people about it, you get random people into it. That's when they like. There's a line out the door for people to buy gold. Good luck, you fuck. If the news told you about it, you're fucked. You're the idiot holding your dick. It's the last one in the orgy. It's like the hooker's tired. He's going home. Like, what? Bonnie Blue. Why did I choose again? I haven't seen any of her videos. She doesn't look attractive to me, honestly. Is it her accent? That bitch is a demon stealing souls for sure. Speaking of, I went to that haunted house thing. Friends, blah blah blah, and the girl. We're walking through mazes, and there's obviously like fucking spooky themed shit. There's one with pentagrams and all kinds of like obviously demonic shit. Can I ask you a question? Can you do witchcraft sarcastically? Anyone ever asked that question before? Can you do witchcraft sarcastically? If tell you a story. I heard of a guy who went to a party and people walked around him counterclockwise, doing some kind of ritual, I imagine. Then he told a couple people, and those people were like, haha, let's fuck with him. Let's walk around him in a circle. It's like, do you think, and those people claim to be very godly and God fearing. It's like, do you think there's a difference between when they do it or when you do it? So, in other words, if you draw a pentagram, if you're summoning spirits, can you do it sarcastically? If it's a thing? Just a question. If I'm an expert on the subject, if I was, mm-mm. Doing it's doing it. Why else would the Super Bowl or fucking the weekend concerts look like that, you fucking asshole? Fuck this place, fuck the people, fuck everyone. Fuck everyone who isn't me. Don't you get a feeling? Well, I suppose you go to these places to get that feeling, but basically going, if I'm an expert on a subject, if I know the other side at all, after coming back home, like, aha, I've journal about it before. The places you go can fuck your energy up. Or maybe you bring something home with you. The difference between you and me is that I know it, or can sense it or feel it. There's another problem with the girl. I don't want to think about negative stuff. It's like, well, bitch, how do you stay safe? We don't know what the negative is. When I went to hell, I opened every door. Wow, gay. Huh. Transgender. Huh. And I fucked all of them. I had the questions of like, is this morally all right or not, according to God? Pride was the first sin. The devil got kicked out of heaven. Now we have pride parades, according to a book that was made up. But that's why I had a question of is that a fucking thing or not? Like, what is the, you know? So I have to examine without doing it, because not that there's a permanent hell, but like I'm pretty sure that's selling your soul. Otherwise, why would they do it in Hollywood or fucking? Why would they make the elite do it? And then like castrating yourself has to also. I mean, you're making a statement for sure. You better hope there's no God, because what the fuck is that? Um, there's a video going around of a UFC fighter getting a boner fighting or play play wrestling with a midget that looks like a baby. That's a boy, man. It's an adult man, but looks like a little boy. And he had a boner. That looks bad either way. Gay or into kids, it's pretty bad. But I think into a kid is probably worse. It's a good thing his career is already over. I saw. That's because I have Instagram now that I know these things. So I saw people in the comments defending like it's totally normal for you like, to pop a boner when you're like defending him. I have a niece and nephew. I mean, if I was fucking the hottest girl in the world and they were just in the room, I it would go down. I'm just saying. Like as soon as I see a kid, I'm not interested in doing other things. Like, what the fuck? He has to be into it. Gross. So, what else? Spiritual stuff, spiritual connection. So to me, having a spiritual connection with someone is number one priority, or at least someone who's had a spiritual awakening. Because that's when you become conscious. When you start, you think for yourself. Not that you can't get a benefit from church. It's not that you need to stop going to church, but if you go there looking for answers, or if you're not looking within yourself, and if you're not looking in alternative avenues to find what the truth is, you haven't done it. You haven't done it. And there's so many traps in the spiritual world. So many traps. That's why Jungian psychology is the answer. Know thyself. The better you know yourself, the better you know this world. The better you know your own darkness, the better you see it in others. If you haven't seen when you're a demon, you won't know when someone else is. So, couldn't be with a girl who checks all my boxes in the fake world. Which feels like it's ending soon, anyways. I'd like to go to Tuscany and just forget everything. Maybe not Tuscany because I don't really like wine, but I'll do it. More of like an island person. Beach. I'd like a beach that no other humans have access to. My own beach. Like Tom Hanks in that movie. Wilson. Wherever the fuck that was. It's like, why would you leave? You're fine. You found it. Go stay. God gave you a gift. I have all this shit, and I don't give a fuck about any of it. All the things people fight their whole lives to try to get. Even, not that I have it, but like I have some status, I suppose. There's a kid that came up to me at the gym and said I'm an inspiration. And it wasn't because I'm jacked, it's because he knows what I do for a living. He said like, oh, I watched that podcast you were on. Okay, let's switch subjects. 35, 35. So, last weekend prior, I went to the gym. I was with a group of guys that I know vaguely, just from car stuff or whatever. And I said something. And this guy was like, I want to pick your brain about that. And then when we had lunch later, uh, he was listening to stuff that I was saying, spiritual stuff, psychology, whatever. They started holding court, which I often do now. And I'll have to, I'll be vague. I don't want to say too much identifying stuff because he told me stuff that is very personal. But it's interesting that he knew to confide in me and that I would be safe. And he mentioned it. It's like I don't know why I feel like telling you this. So a lot of trauma, a lot of childhood trauma, a lot of betrayal, a lot of, uh, and it seems like we're kind of wired the same a little bit. I'm further in my spiritual path. I think I'm further in my spiritual path than anyone I know or have met personally. So rather than live in the woo woo world and live in, you know, I think one good thing that came from uh, dating unconscious women is that I was forced to be present. I don't know if that's good or not, but I still have a foot in both worlds. But like, at least I used to journal all the time. Now, how much am I in my head? How much am I in the physical world? It's nice. It's nice to have all the information and knowledge that I and wisdom that I got from the intense reading and research and thinking and figuring things out. But I can't really apply it to daily life. I can apply it when someone talks to me about spiritual shit. What we see changes what we know. What we know changes what we see. So on that applies to everything. It applies to the fucking spaceship coming. It applies to fucking Charlie Kirk's assassination. It applies to relationships. I went to another Kabbalah thing. There was a Kabbalah thing at the Pendry Hotel, and maybe I should be vague, but fucking whatever. Who cares? I'll come back to this guy, but there's a lot of people looking for spiritual knowledge and looking for answers to their pain, or answers to how the world works, or answers to God, or answers to whatever. I saw a video where David Guillaume was like, he had a cup and he was pouring water into it, and then he overflowed it. And he's like, this is what happens when you're sharing spiritual information with someone who's not ready for it. Like, fuck, that's me. So I've been forced to dumb myself down and kind of pick and choose when I say what. Most people aren't ready for the fucking deep talks, and they're, you know, resolving relationship issues or resolving family issues or resolving whatever. So, um, and I see where different people are on a different part of their path. So I see when people have like, you know, they're mad at like it's happening to me now actually, mad at family or mad at relationship or whatever the fuck. And then you have to set a boundary there so that there's no new trauma while you figure out what the trauma is. If you just leave the door open and leaves keep, like, you can keep sweeping, but the fucking, it's gonna keep getting dirty. Shut the door, clean up. Once all the leaves are gone, then you can open this fucking thing and keep the screen door closed. You know what I mean? You selective. Remember, all my doorknobs were breaking. So I needed my boundaries to be protected. I wasn't doing it. Just letting anyone come and fuck with my shit. So, um, that's part of it. So, like, whoever you want to blame externally, you need to go through the process of blaming them until you get to a point where then you blame yourself. Then you have to get to the point where then you forgive yourself. And then you repeat this process probably several times until you die. I don't know what happens when you get past it. I don't know what the fuck. When someone passes the game, like, what does it look like? I assume Jung did it. I don't know. I don't see anyone getting farther than Homeboy. It's interesting that if I cover my eyes, it gets darker, or if I like look away. What the fuck? Is this thing lit by my consciousness? So, the Kabbalah thing. I met, um, or talked to, like, a couple of teenagers and teenage girls actually, and I was so surprised with what they knew. Like, oh, it's like this. How do you know? It's like, and then at the same time, they're participating in like the most under attack generation I think ever, where everything's digital and everything's artificial and everything's, you know, like all the men that are in their dating pool are women. So interesting to see that. I don't. I had no idea what the fuck was going on in that generation, but now I have hope. Um, what else? I'll go back to the other guy. So this guy confides in me about his trauma that he's working through, and then a girl is going through a breakup. Tell me about it. I'm all ears. So this girl has 500,000 followers on Instagram. She's an actress, singer, maybe OnlyFans, I think. Um, so he says that she, you know, she initially he wasn't that interested. Told me a story how she's like, after they first met, she's like, "Oh, I'm moving," and they said it's gonna be expensive, and he's like, "Hey, I got you. Just like send me the bill." And then she's like, it was $5,000. And he's like, bitch, what? It's like, I'm a man of my word, so I'm gonna pay. But God, you idiot! Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this to me. Um, he wasn't that into her, and then when she started shitting on him, basically, like he got hooked. And then, of course, there's like the demons know how to suck dick really well, so she sucked the soul out of him, which means she sucks a lot of dicks. Surprise. Um, you, you know what I mean? Even if you watch a lot of videos, you've had to have a real one every once and again. So, like an energy vampire in an energy vampire industry, literally, like, I was like, bro, why? What are you looking for? So he like confides in me, and then he says that he's like, why don't you have a podcast or something? Well, I don't know if I'm someone to be looking up to. Like that, I think that we, like people, we're not allowed to look up. I mean, we shouldn't look up to any human being, frankly. Zero. That's why they say Jesus was the Son of God. There's no one who lives without sin. Well, I remember Jesus flipping tables and ripped a fig tree out of the ground. So I don't think even Jesus was Jesus. So that being said, I think any real spiritual teacher, guru, whatever, has to start with like impart knowledge. Like you get knowledge from fucking up. You're not born with enlightenment. You have to take the wrong path. So we look at people that fuck up like, oh, like shun them forever. I've even give examples of people like you you your first reaction is to get rid of them, get them out of sight, out of mind, or whatever. It's like no one wants to. There was a guy when I was early 20s. I had this car, and I fucking met this guy in the forums, and he's like, "Oh, I can help you make it faster." So he like came and fucked with it, whatever. Then one day he just like disappeared, and I asked someone, I was like, "What happened to that guy?" Helicopter came in the middle of the night, SWAT. They picked him up. Child porn, CP, and then he was saying that he downloaded a virus. He's like, I looked at the stuff like it was a virus that downloaded the stuff onto my computer. I don't look at that stuff, and he was saying that it was like torture and like really crazy shit. So it's either he's like a fucking senator, or he's telling the truth about a virus, or he's into that shit. In all three cases, stay away from me, sir. Like I don't want to be associated with you. I don't want to like he randomly emails me. He must be out of prison now. He's like, hey, he emails me, he Instagrams me, he fucking texts my work number. I was like, hey man, I don't work on those cars. Sorry. Good luck. I don't want to catch up. I don't want to know like toxic waste. It's like that's. It's like I don't know how to. Not my place, you know. I do think people that have that kind of like maybe John Jones, people need you got to talk to someone or figure that shit out. But I don't. I wish Carl Jung was alive so I could ask him what the fuck that is. Other than demonic possession, I don't have an answer of why you'd want to fuck a kid, unless you're the Prophet of Islam. Um, if you're Christian and you're smiling and cheering for that, I want you to know the Christians were doing the same thing at the same time. I suppose when you died at 20, I don't know. It's weird to measure modern morals to the past. It's like they are fucking animals, and they were fucking animals, frankly. So let's learn from the past and not repeat their mistakes. I think is the lesson here. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Moving on. So this guy, coincidentally, the guy that I was talking relationship shit, was SA'd by a family member when he was a kid. Now I'm still talking about it. Why is this so common? There's not see you can't solve a problem if you can't talk about it. But it's like who do you got to go to the source, the head vampire, which is the Vatican probably, or Washington D.C. Same thing, City of London. So poor guy, by the way. But I'll tell you that he's financially very successful. And in Kabbalah, they say like when your soul is destined for greatness, like you have a harsh childhood. It's like the more darkness you experience, the more light you can hold. Like it expands your vessel. So it's like the darkness, no darkness, right? Let's pretend they're made out of something. No darkness, 12.7 fluid ounces. And then when you experience darkness, 33.8 ounces. It's like it can hold more. The vessel can hold more. So that's why with that when that girl's like, oh, I don't want to think about it. I don't want to like. It's like, all right, well, you know when like you put a fucking tablecloth over the cage of a parakeet. He's like, I guess it's night now. That's not me. I'm a lunatic, not a parakeet. The way she'd look at me was like, damn. I wish I liked this. It would be neat. I'd be done with my development and whatever the fuck. Whenever you get married or have kids, whatever level you're at, I think that's it. Until you're in ancient age and you have time to yourself again. But good luck. It's gonna be hell. It's really tough, especially for men because once you have a family, your life's not about you anymore. You have to do everything for everybody else. You have to provide their safety, and you got to pretend you're tough. You don't get to slip, or they'll never forgive you. Everyone's microanalyzing everything you do. So this guy, like, his mom still talks to his assailant or whatever the fuck. So he doesn't have a good relationship with his mom. And then obviously that will translate to these are the types of women he's going to be attracted to. Even though morally, ethically, I wouldn't date an OnlyFans model. Um, there's someone I know who actually there's a couple. It's very common now, I guess, but girls that were interested in me that wanted like I didn't even entertain a first date because they're friends with a bunch of OnlyFans girls. It's like and like to each their own, whatever. It's just like that's not like literal energy vampire. You're having men stare into this black box, this screen, Pipa Veloce. That's literally you're getting their energy, or they're just wasting their energy thinking about you. It's like cheap energy. It's dopamine versus serotonin. It's not a real thing. Getting a headache. Maybe it's from eating this fucking whatever the fuck artificial thing or drinking water that has plastic that's gonna end up in my balls. This country sucks. So 55 minutes. So I'm telling this guy things that he's never heard, obviously. So like, it's like, all right, I'll think about that, or I'll digest that. But basically, like telling him that his subconscious mind is leading him to a lesson that basically makes him feel how he did as a kid. Like at this point, the girl is on and off, and she's obviously trying to suck the right dick for her career to take off. So like he's on the back burner. She comes back to feed on his energy when she's not feeling right. And he, I don't know, she said something. He's like, nobody talks to me like that. Blocks her out of anger, and then unblocks her. Hopes that I'm like, dude. I was like, keep her blocked because you're telling the universe that you're at least moving in the right direction or whatever the fuck. He's like, I don't want negative energy. I'm like, all right, I understand. All right, do whatever you feel is right. And then he's like, I wanted to message her and apologize. I'm like, okay. He's like, I won't because this. I'm like, all right. Well, what happens if you do? What happens if you don't? Let's think about it. What happens if you do? What happens if you don't? It's like, if you're afraid to do something, you should probably do it. Like, let's get the worst thing to happen to happen. Let's get you down in the dumps, and then we have no choice but to go up, right? What is it you're afraid to happen? Like, obviously, message her, open his heart, and she's closed off, which I've experienced many times. It's a really shitty feeling to like be open with someone who's closed off, and they can't. I talk about it all the time. Like when someone's drowning, they'll drown you. So I told him the dream about the siren that I had. So in case someone that stumbles upon this and doesn't watch everything that I've ever said, I will repeat it. And it's interesting that it came up because like she's a siren, like for a living, and it's part of when they describe your anima complex. A siren is one of them. So like I had a dream confronting my own shadow, which is like a profound thing and to happen in your life. It's a fucking of note. So at a place, the pool, there's a pool, there's an upside down. In the upside down is the siren reaching through, trying to say, save me, bring me to heaven with you. And I am saying, fuck off. I know it's a trick. You exist to kill men. And then in the begging whatever the fuck, or the damsel in distress fucking whatever the fuck act, it eventually grabs me and drags me down to hell. And my last thought was to embrace it and kiss it because God wouldn't create something just to suffer. So that dream prompted me to continue on a path. So he asked me about it. He's like, why did you decide, like, why did you have this dream and then think that means date the person you didn't want to date? I was like, well, I was on the fence because I was looking at signs and synchronicities that pointed like maybe there's something I'm supposed to do here. Maybe I could help the person, whatever the fuck. And then using what I knew and my like even just basic therapy and psychology, whatever. It's like no, there's nothing I can do for this. It's a trap. It's literally like Siren in the Odyssey. It's like they lure you in, you crash your boat there, and you're stuck, and they're gonna fucking feed off you. You're just fucking. This is an island of sirens, family of sirens. They exist to feed off your energy. They don't give anything back. They give you crumbs to live off of while they destroy you. Eventually, you'll just be bones. If uh, if you watch Oh Brother Where Art Thou, it was kind of like a newer rendition of the story of the Odyssey, And what's interesting is with the person I'm referring to, I played it on the way to Vegas, on the way back from Vegas, and she hated the movie. It's like every time she woke up, it was like a nightmare. I was like, that's because it's you, bitch. You're the nightmare. So, um, I'm explaining to him that, like, yeah, I thought, like, I don't know, that, like, God knows things that I don't know. So, and I've survived everything so far. So, what's the worst that could happen? Obviously, like, I could slip back, which did happen, slip back into old habits and old feelings and blah, blah, blah. But if I can do that, that means there's work to be done. So, what is there to be afraid of? It's like, I'll recover. It's fine. I try, and I told him I did more for this person than anyone will in their entire life. I forgave and I loved and I did everything that I thought that they deserve and what I wish would have happened to me during my hardest time, like when I was hard to love. Apparently, super easy to love now. So, um, after giving all this energy, and I think I probably journaled about it. Like I would, during the course of 4 hours, shrink while I was with this person. Like there's so much, like I was giving so much of myself that I'm physically, like it's not, it shouldn't be possible. And if it was in my head and it was just me, that's one thing. But she noticed. She's like, you got smaller since you've been here. Like the course of a few hours. That is ending. Like I keep seeing things about narcissists, and it talks about how, I mean, people are figuring this shit out. People are figuring out how it works. It's like the entities that use them to feed off of you, like create situations to siphon your energy. So, like before a holiday or during a vacation or before a birthday, or I was like, "Fuck me." It's exactly what happens. And then they don't. I don't know if they know. They're like a puppet. It's like it's just a fucking. It's not a real person. It's just a. It's an amalgamation. Sometimes you get a glimpse of who's in there, and you hold on to that. But it's like that. That is just like a. You ever see an anglerfish? That glowing light. It's like this fucking. That's what you're looking at. This and that fucking ugly bitch is about to swallow you whole. Uh, And an anglerfish also, the male gets attached to the female, like their bodies fuse, and then she literally lives off. He's stuck. He lives off of her, or she lives off of him. Whatever. I mean, great analogy, anglerfish. I gotta further develop this, but um, and fuck, they're ugly, and that is the inside of a narcissist. Exactly. Those sharp ass fucking teeth. It's fucking soulless eyes. And you're looking at the light and you're like, no, 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 it's me. Or what you're seeing is you. They're not you. It's hard to explain, but it's like the times that you see them be human or their mask off, it's just an act. It's not real. So basically, what I was explaining to him was that I needed to learn that there's nothing you can do. That it's not our job to save anybody. So he was saying that like in one of the off periods, this girl that he was dating did mushrooms and called him and was like, "Oh, I've been so mean to you and whatever." And then he attaches so much meaning to that. And I was like, "Let me tell you about the Zoltar machine." And I was like, "I experienced the same thing. Like they want to rid themselves of the guilt, but there's no." I told him like when I reconnected with him, this person, they were worse than ever before. They every single negative trait got worse. And he's like, how? I was like, it didn't matter how much energy I gave. It's like the world is a mirror. So like I was explaining like she dated someone like her. She dated a narcissist. She's dating someone who reflects the worst parts of her. She hates that. But instead of recognizing like, oh, that's who I am. That's who I was to this other guy. I mean, she just now there's two of them. So she's learning how to be a worse energy vampire or better at it. So it's all a game, and then even even their attempts to like I've changed or I've grown or I've whatever the fuck like it's all fake. It's all fake. I this year learning that not everyone contains the divine spark. I was actually talking to the girl I was dating about it, and she's like, "Do you think I have the divine spark?" And I was like, "Let me answer that with a question." I guess I need, yeah, something. Tell me it's real. This feeling that we feel. Your feelings lie to you. So like you're. I think there are people put on this planet that are just drones. They're just zombies. They are an NPC. It's a program that is meant to be this way. Several different suitors or whatever the fuck will like the knight comes into the same fucking village on his pilgrimage, deals with the sirens. Some will get stuck there. Some will marry it. Some will fucking uh, fall in love, get their heart broken, whatever the fuck. But that fucking siren is always going to be there doing that thing. It's from a family, an island of sirens. You just go, you go, and it's a fucking trap. It's a soul trap. Either you get sucked into the whirlwind and the whirlpool and you go into hell, or you fucking reach terminal velocity and get the fuck out of there. That's it. Those are your options. It's not for you to save. You're not gonna fucking fix it. You're not gonna. They don't want your help. They don't want your help. I promise. They want your energy. It's a different thing. So even oh help 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 the siren reaching through like help me. It's like oh my god, I'm a good person. I can't say no. Oh fuck, this was a mistake. It's between them and God. There's nothing. There's nothing we can do to save anybody. What we're supposed to save is ourselves. If you save yourself, you raise the vibration of the collective. Maybe something will change. Maybe, but I know no amount of like it's a fucking trap. No amount of energy you give to a woman is going to fix a woman. Does not happen. So trying to explain this to homeboy, and he's still in. You know, he's still you. Doesn't matter what I say. I mean, there's no fixing the woman either. There's no fixing fucking dudes. It just doesn't matter what I say. He has to do it himself. It's like, okay, you feel like unblocking or texting her, you should do it. I know what's gonna happen. I gotta wait for you to fucking do it and then get sad and then call me about it. All right, let's do it. Which I guess is me giving him energy, but I'd rather give it to my bros. You know what I'm looking for? I just realized it's like I'm looking for someone else to wake up. Someone had told me, someone that was a bad person and taking advantage of me and hated God, said said that the universe is expanding in order to find another one. Is that me? it feels like I can participate in the regular life stuff. Like I went to like a car event and we walk around and it really honestly feels like I don't belong here. I don't want to. And it's like if I had another one of me, could I do all the things and enjoy them again? It's like am I waiting to be whole? That's what I've been thinking recently. As I'm like I need to just fucking I need to be whole, not wait for someone to complete me. And perhaps as I do that, I attract the like. Gotta be someone somewhere. Not fake spiritual, but actual. Like someone who's knows the same. Someone has to somewhere be doing the same shit I am. Entangled particles, right? Someone that sees world events the same way I do. The closest thing, honestly, I've seen is this girl I'm talking to. That's the closest I've been. The one that goes to church. But you see, that's the disconnect. It's like even if you believe in the teachings, you're using the wrong name. Like I know you don't know what I know. I didn't talk about it. Both of these girls had near death experiences and had their spiritual awakening because of it. You know what's interesting also? This is a question I posed to the Persian girl. Is that I've mentioned this before, so like whatever. She was hit by a car, and then her inventory for her business was burned up in those definitely not planned fires. You know they do cloud seeding all the time. Why didn't they do that to save a city? Just question. Um, so I asked her, I was like, if God was telling you to change course, what would it look like, or rather, how would it look different? No, I know this is what I want to do, and I already talked to God. And I was like, all right, have you heard of Wu Wei? No, I haven't. It's like, all right, well, good luck to you. Like, if God put me in a coma and then burned up all my work, I'd be like, all right, maybe I shouldn't even be in this country. I'd be rethinking everything. It's pretty severe, I would say. Pretty severe. Her tenacity is really impressive. Like a strong woman in her feminine energy rather than a strong woman who's pretending to be a man is a really attractive quality. But we live in different worlds. We're going in different directions. I can't take the blue pill and go back to sleep with you. Like we have to either build a new world or you know. That's why I'm not coming to church. It's like there's none of that. You ain't teaching me shit in there. Like, I can read the book too. I don't need you to translate for me. Thank you. Translate someone's words who's definitely lying. So more attracted to the girl that's not my type than a girl that was to the T my type. So it's interesting seeing, and of course, documenting for whoever the fuck. Like, I don't know if I'll ever have kids or grandkids, but like, Grandpa, what were you like when you were young? What was going on when fucking World War III happened? Sit down, you little faggot, I'll tell you. Everyone was gay. The government made AIDS. So, anyways, yeah, I can't. It would be great to build a castle in fucking the metaverse, but I don't live there. So build a new universe with me or fuck off. It's cool to be in this position. It's cool to be like, hmm. She tell me all the men that hustle, like even when she's like bleeding, dying in a coma, men are coming like Hustigari. They go, I will marry your daughter and take care of her. I can fix this. High value woman. High value women are rare. So I was like, all right, let's be sure that I'm not just being fucking weird. I tried to push her away quite a bit, honestly, subconsciously. Like tell her things that she's like, so do the demons tell you to do bad things? I was like, bitch, I'm not schizophrenic. The fuck? I see demons in people. People as demons. Like, you think I'm schizophrenic and you still want to marry me? What the fuck's wrong with you? You know, what the fuck? I've never seen like an out of body. I know it exists. I could kind of sense it, but fuck, what a nightmare to live in if you what kill my family. I guess I gotta do. What the fuck is that? Oh, I guess well, Sam told me or whatever the fuck, son of Sam. I don't know what the fuck happened in those killings, but you know what I saw? I definitely didn't journal about this. I watched on Netflix this Perfect Neighbor documentary. It's a full story made with police body cam footage, like cops. Now, cops just doing their regular job, it can eventually be pinged and put into a fucking TV show documentary. This lady was calling the cops on her neighbors all the time because they're black and eventually shoots their mom. So she complains like these kids are fucking making noise. Like they're kids, bitch. She's like, well, they're in this open area, but there's no trespassing signs here. Like they shouldn't be. They're making noise all the time. It's like move your ass somewhere else then. The whole neighborhood's on board, and you're the one she wanted the conflict. So I'm watching this. I'm like, this bitch needs love, and she doesn't know how to give or receive it. So instead of being part of the fun, their fun bothers her. Everyone else living their life and enjoying the sound of children laughing upsets her. And then it looks like the whole neighborhood hated her. She's calling the cops all the time. So everyone was like fucking like the kids would be next to the trespassing sign, like neener, 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 antagonizing her. Probably not a good idea either. But they're kids. They're fucking kids. And if you're John Jones, you're fucking kids. Sorry. Word association. So, autism. So, what is that? Schizophrenia. So, I wonder who the fuck they're talking to. I kind of wish I had that. I think it's archetypes. I think it's like it's a different story. So, anyways, this Netflix thing, fucking, the mom goes over, knocks on the door, like, "Why did you steal my kid's iPad?" She shoots through the door, kills the mom. Now, these four kids don't have a mom, and the lady like there's a full thing of like they have the camera looking in the room when she's alone. No remorse at all. She doesn't think they're human, so she doesn't give a fuck. Like here's a notepad if you want to write anything. It'll like help with like the judge or whatever the fuck. She was arrested for a long time too. Arrested for a long time, and you know, I'm analyzing the whole. First of all, why is Netflix showing this? Do you think other people are like, oh no, like she needs love and she did this out of like they're like fuck this bitch, kill her, race war, race war. So she wrote a very. I mean, you take someone's life, you take a mother away from their kids. Like I'm watching the kid, like oh, I fucking the feeling in my throat, watching the kids cry, or when their dad shows up and hears that the mom's dead and has to tell the kids. It's like fuck, it's crazy. This is all from police body cam footage. Like, fuck me. And me not being involved, I feel for the kids, and then this lady feels nothing. And like the outro is basically the court proceedings. She lost a bunch of weight because she's not out in the wild anymore. So she looked like a completely different person. They're like, yeah, 25 to life, and she's like, she just goes, no, nothing. It's crazy. Carl Jung said people would do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. There's no humanity in that lady. When she was in prison, or when she was being questioned by the cops, or had to like stay in a hotel so the neighborhood doesn't come fucking lynch her. They obviously broke into her house and fucked things up and took their anger out or whatever, which I guess is understandable. But at every step of the way, they were proving her fears right, you know? There's definitely a right and wrong, but when we respond in anger, and I'm guilty of this still to this day, we respond in anger instead of in grace, instead of love, we create more of the problem. So perhaps, perhaps a like barbecue with the neighborhood and with the kids, or whatever, like introducing them and you know what I mean, like getting her part of it. She's alone. This lady's alone and miserable. She's looking for love. Someone could have seen that and alchemized this, you know. Someone could have saved this whole neighborhood. Would have probably she would have been like everyone's grandma. It could have been a good thing. She could have had her door open and the kids come over and play and talk to her and say, "How are you doing, Miss whatever the fuck your name is?" Like it could have been. It could have been. And the cops went with the kids to the other parents in the neighborhood, and every other person told each of the kids like, "I love you so much" and all this stuff. And it was like, wow, there's so much like they still have mothers and all these other ladies, these other people. How did that lady become like that? And how do you fix it? How do you fix that? So Netflix is part of the propaganda machine, and I know they're showing people this stuff to get you angry and to get you to distrust. Like in the news, there's a Persian guy in Orange County, I think last week, that got robbed by three black guys. It's always three black guys for some reason. Uh, for a $600,000 watch, and stories like that. I mean, makes everyone scared. Now you're gonna look at every black person and be like, I don't know, and then feel guilty for doing it too. It's, it's an interesting thing. Interesting. What's happening here? When my parents grew up in this country in the 70s, nobody locked their doors, nobody locked their cars. How did we get from there to here? Weak men. And women that use empathy to be dictators. It's like someone has to make hard decisions, and just like a father, this is right, this is wrong. Shut up. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. We're going in this direction. How do you spell? How do you spend $50 billion on homelessness and have more homeless people? It's like you could have given them each $1 million. Weird. It's almost like the system is built in order to fail. Weird. I hope we return to something like that. Like, in Dubai, it's safe. You can leave all your shit out. No one touches it. Same thing in Japan. Japan doesn't have this strict bullshit that Dubai has. They have a culture, which is why they're importing. You can go into the mountains in Japan, and if you find a bathroom, it's like a self-cleaning, fucking electric, spotless bathroom. They want to import 500,000 people that shit on the streets. Specific, like, how is that going to help? How are they going to integrate? How are they going to help Japan? And just so happens the lady responsible is going to those meetings with those people. She should commit seppuku immediately. I'm surprised it's happening in Japan because the culture doesn't allow shit like this. Japan should stay Japanese. Um, the world will lose something great if Japan ceases to be Japan. Come visit and whatever. Like, now the geisha area of Kyoto is off limits because foreigners keep coming and harassing them and fucking it up. It's like, how do you do this? He's like, just destructive. You see a flower fucking bush, and then just trample on it. It's like, did you make this better? Just fucking look at it. Pick one. Why kill it? Um, I do think people are gonna start waking up and be like, all right, none of this shit. No more of this shit. Shut the fuck up. I know what you're doing. They want us to hate each other. It's engineered, social engineering. But whatever is going to come, do you remember during COVID, they made it seem like it was going to be martial law? They made it seem like they were going to enforce by force. In reality, what happened is your neighbor wanted to enforce what you do. Your neighbor's fear got them to become demons towards you. If there was a reward for turning in your neighbor who was unvaccinated, some people I know would have turned me in. So, like, the puppet masters take the fucking beehive and shake it and then just point you in a direction, and then you sting someone. A bee can sting once and then die. It's like you're unleashed on other people. Fear is a method of control. So all the shit that I see now, I'm like, ugh. Oh, I'm supposed to be afraid again. I'm too scared. The aliens are coming. Oh, the government's shutting down. I need gold. Shut up. This shit's old. I need more people to wake up to this. He who worries before he has to worries more than he has to. Like, whatever the fuck. Like, let the worst things happen. Whatever the fuck. Like, they're taking EBT away, then they shut the government down, then blah blah blah. It's like, all right, well, don't go in neighborhoods that's going to be a problem for a while. All right, I gotta call somebody. It's all fake. So, do you want to build a new world with me? Get away from the new world order. Let's uh, let's hate the same things together. You know. All right, an hour and a half. I'm back to fucking talking to myself for a long time. So I don't know what the next thing's going to be about, but perhaps I'll when nothing happens with this alien invasion, I will update again.